Evening, I'd like to call this special meeting of the Madison Public Schools Board of Education order, and please rise for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, first up, we have our school and community session, which includes public participation. Do we have anybody in the audience who wants to make a statement or anything? Seeing none, move on to our superintendent's report. Dr. Cook.
Thank you, Chairman Klaskin, and welcome to the best meeting of the year. Easy to say that. And I will start with recognizing our Teacher Appreciation Week. Teacher Appreciation Week was last week. Usually we're just ahead of it, but this year we're behind it. But I'm pleased to report that our school administration and PTO planned great events for our nurses and our teachers last week, and it was great to see such support from the community. May 4th to May 8th was Teacher Appreciation Week. Each school celebrated our amazing teachers. I'm always impressed with the teaching staff here in Madison. We were very fortunate with their dedication to ensure all students succeed. I firmly believe we have the best collection of 300 teachers in the state. And I'd like to call up Mike Ginsburg to say a few words. Mike is a teacher at Polson. He's our fencing coach, and he's president of the Teachers Association in town. And he's also had 3 boys that went through our school, so he knows very well about this.
One for a few more months. And our fencing coach of the year.
As always, we always like to say thank you back. We appreciate your appreciation. We appreciate your support because we can't do what we do without you. I also love that you have all the kids here when we do this, because that's also my favorite Board of Ed meeting as well. Hopefully you saw that we also did, as part of our appreciation for how much you guys have supported us, we made signs this year to support the budget. I'll say to the tons of people watching out there, said someone came around and stole our signs. So I guess because they were just so lovely. So we don't appreciate that. But thank you very much. We do appreciate all the support that you've given us, not just this year, but over the years as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
So as mentioned, it was also School Nurses Day last week on May 6th. We're very fortunate to have 6 very dedicated nurses in our schools. They are fantastic, and the nurses' role has changed so much over the years. It's amazing what we ask them to do each and every day and to keep our kids healthy and in school. Thank you very much to our nurses. Melissa Anderson from Polson, who has joined us. So I don't know if you knew you were going to have to say a few words, but so you did. Okay.
That was actually my first question. Like, do I have to speak? So I'm not a well-practiced public speaker, so I wrote a few things down. Good evening, members of the Board of Education. On behalf of the school health nurses, I wanted to sincerely thank you for your kind recognition and continued support of our work. Your acknowledgement means a great deal to us because what we do is such an important role in the health, safety, and success of our students every day. School health nurses are uniquely positioned to care for students, not only in moments of illness or injury, but also during times of anxiety, uncertainty, and growth. We support children with chronic medical conditions, respond to emergencies, provide health education, promote mental wellness, and serve as a bridge between families, schools, and healthcare providers. Every day brings new challenges, and every day we remain committed to creating a safe and healthy learning environment for all students. We are grateful to work in a district where student well-being is clearly valued. Your support helps ensure the school nurses have the resources and encouragement needed to care for our school communities effectively. I am proud to work with a group of dedicated nurses across our schools whose compassion, professionalism, and tireless efforts make a difference in the lives of our students and staff alike. Thank you for recognizing the important role of school health services and your continued partnership. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, so for our third recognition, we have the CAVE Student Leadership Awards. This is a special award put on by the Connecticut Association of Boards of Ed. So this is our Board of Ed award, and it recognizes student leadership, and the program recognizes and honors students who demonstrate outstanding leadership abilities. Each CAVE member school district is allowed to nominate 2 students from middle school and high school for this award. And we're going to start with Polson, and I know Catherine Hart is here, and she's going to present our 2 students from Polson.
Good evening, everybody. First of all, I would like to invite Farah Pellegrino to come up and stand up here with me. All right. So Farah actually loves the spotlight. You'll hear it in the speech a little bit later, but she just starred as Matilda in our musical theater performance at Matilda Junior. So it was outstanding. So hardworking, diligent, and caring. These are just a few of the words used by the Polson community to describe Farah Pellegrino, a student who is well respected by staff and her peers. An exceptional student and person of outstanding character. Farah has maintained A's in all of her classes throughout middle school. In every way, she is a leader inside and outside of the classroom. Farah is a president of the Excel Club, where she leads the meetings and helps coordinate events. Under her collaborative leadership, the club has done some great community service activities this year, including a fundraiser at Bauer Park, a Veterans Day assembly where Farah spoke, and a kindness chain that was presented at the Congregational Church. She finds comfort in helping others and making a difference in the community. Farah is active in a musical theatre class, where should the teacher state she demonstrates leadership, preparation, and respect to her peers. Outside of school, Farah participates in soccer and basketball, and has shown particular strength as a member of Polson's basketball team. As the youngest of 5 children, Farah describes it as a lot, but values the importance of family and how they have impacted her life so far. Farah is a fabulous young lady, and we are very proud of her commitment and dedication. Polson Middle School is very fortunate to have someone like Farah as a member of our community. Congratulations. Here's the photo. Gonna do a photo of that.
Few pictures too, sorry. Mrs. Sorry, you have to be in, sorry.
Haircut?
Yeah. Did you parent? Great job. With a method to the
You're in charge.
Thanks. Parents can join it.
We'll get you.
Hold here, please. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Next, I would like to invite Vincent Constantino to come on up. How you doing? Good? Great. Vincent is a strong student who has quietly emerged as a positive leader in our school. He is the kind of role model every school hopes for, consistently respectful, kind, and thoughtful with both his peers and faculty. One of our teachers shared that Vincent can often be found voluntarily shelving books in the library, troubleshooting technical issues with VR headsets, offering book recommendations, and simply being a kind and steady presence. He's even stepped in to support his science teacher as she explored new technology resources around space and planets. That willingness to help without being asked says a lot about who he is. Academically, Vincent challenges himself and consistently performs at a high level. But what stands out even more is how he contributes to our school community. As a member of the Peer Helper program, he plays an important role in promoting a positive school culture while building meaningful relationships with others. Through Impact Club, he has been involved in work around diversity and inclusion, including partnerships with students in West Haven. Whether he's participating in cardio drumming with seniors,
playing bingo, or helping organize a hygiene drive, Vincent approaches everything he does with organization, positivity, and genuine care for others. Outside of school, Vincent is an avid tennis player and a dedicated camper at Camp Hazen, where he earned the Camper of the Village award this past summer, an honor that reflects the same character we see every day here at school. Above all, Vincent is an incredible friend. He supports those around him, brings out the best in others, and truly embodies what it means to be kind and compassionate. Vincent, thank you for your leadership and for the example that you set every day. You have made a lasting impact on our school community, and we're excited to see all that you will continue to accomplish in the years ahead.
I know, right? Hey, ready?
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations again to our two middle school award winners. Now we have our high school award winners, and I call on Principal Anthony Salvatore.
Thanks, Dr. Griffin. And Vincent, Bear, congratulations. Great honor. So I'm going to call Grace Ackerman. Grace, you're first tonight. Great. So before I talk about Grace, when we break this award down in the selection process at the high school level, we look at the CABE criteria, which is worth just reading aloud. It's willingness to take on challenges, capability to make difficult decisions, concern for others, ability to work with others, commitment to a project, diplomacy and clear understanding, and ability to honor a commitment. So as you would imagine, we have two outstanding students from the high school this evening. I'm really excited to speak about Grace first. Grace Ackerman is a distinguished leader at Daniel Hand High School, and her high school career is defined by a rare combination of academic excellence, civic duty, and a profound commitment to others' well-being. Ranked in the top percentile of her class, Grace has consistently sought out the most rigorous academic challenges. Her true impact is evident in her extensive service to the Madison community. Grace's leadership is marked by an exceptional ability to understand complex issues and communicate them with diplomacy. This is best evidenced by her historic appointment as a student representative to both the Madison Board of Education and the Madison Youth and Family Services Board, the first student to serve on both simultaneously. In these roles, she serves as a vital bridge between the student body and town leadership, attending biweekly meetings to address community concerns and provide clear, thoughtful insights to the board and the superintendent. Beyond her administrative roles, Grace demonstrates deep concern for others through active advocacy. As a certified peer advocate and peer helper, she has taken on the challenge of mental health awareness, presenting suicide prevention strategies to middle and high school students. Her commitment to projects is also evident in her founding of the Daniel Hand branch of Raffles for Wishes, a campaign she scaled by presenting to over 20 area high school principals, ultimately securing commitments from 6 local high schools. Her global perspective and collaborative spirit are evident in her role as a virtual English tutor for native Spanish speakers and in her selection as one of only 2 students in Connecticut for the United States Senate Youth Program. Whether co-founding the Internet Club or managing social media for the Excel Club, Grace honors every commitment with maturity beyond her years. She is not just a participant in her community, she is a catalyst for positive change, consistently demonstrating the grit, empathy, and vision of a premier student leader. Grace is a remarkable young lady who is very deserving of this recognition. Congratulations, Grace. You were? Oh,
Okay, thank
Want me to stand here?
you. Yeah, good evening, everyone. It feels a little surreal standing here because for the past 2 years, I've grown quite comfortable on the seat over there behind my name plaque. So this is a nice change of scenery. I would like to begin by thanking the Connecticut Association of Board of Education for creating this recognition and selecting me as one of the 2026 Daniel Hand recipients. Honestly, this feels again surreal because 5 years ago, I had the privilege of standing here in the same position as the Polson Cape recipient. First and foremost, I would like to thank my family for attending this evening. This is actually our first week that we've been all together in quite some time since college just let out. And a special thank you to my grandmother who traveled from Pennsylvania to celebrate with us. Thank you for your constant love and support regardless of the distance. I would then like to thank the Board of Education not only for this recognition, but for establishing the student representative position in the first place. These roles provide students with a meaningful platform to contribute to conversations about our school and to offer insight into the student experience. Over the past 2 years, you have consistently welcomed my perspective, listened thoughtfully, and fostered an environment where students feel comfortable speaking about both the strengths of Daniel Hand and the areas where we can continue to grow. On behalf of the student body, thank you for considering and recognizing student voices. I would also like to express my gratitude to the Daniel Hand administration, faculty, and staff whose encouragement and guidance have shaped me profoundly over the past 4 years. Mr. Salutary, Mr. Bodner, Ms. Witcher, and the women in the front office who always greet me warmly and keep me organized despite my frequent visits, thank you. Ms. Rossi, thank you for crafting the perfect schedule for me every semester that satisfied every wild request, while simultaneously challenging me and finding time for lunch, of course. Mr. Farrell, thank you for supporting my work with my nonprofit Raffles for Wishes and helping us host over 80 Daniel Hand raffles, raising over $15,000 for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And to all my teachers, thank you for not only strengthening my academic abilities, but also making learning engaging and meaningful. I'd like to briefly reflect on my educational journey because it speaks directly to the impact this district has had on my life. When I was in kindergarten and somebody asked where I wanted to attend college, I answered with complete certainty, Duke University. At the time, my reasoning was quite sophisticated. It was my father's alma mater. But over the years, that dream became something much greater. In elementary school, I stayed up late watching Duke basketball games on my iPad, and I'll let you in on a little secret. From the age of 13 forward, every birthday wish I made was for an acceptance to Duke. This April, my lifelong dream came true as I opened my decision. It was immediately met with blue confetti and many, many tears. Statistically, there was a 97% chance this moment would never happen. Yet I truly believe it is because of the unwavering support, encouragement, and opportunities I was given by Madison Public Schools. This district has cultivated an environment where it pushed me to work harder, think bigger, and believe that even my most ambitious goals were attainable. This is why I want to share this story tonight. So often, the Board of Education is responsible for making decisions that are difficult and significant, but you do not always have the opportunity to witness their impact firsthand. I stand here tonight as a reflection of what can happen when students are supported, challenged, and encouraged to pursue their ambitions without limitation. So thank you. Thank you for believing in students, for investing in our futures, and for creating a community where young people are empowered to dream boldly. And thank you for this incredibly meaningful recognition. It is an honor that I will carry with me for longer than today.
He's doing some picture. So here is your certificate.
Thank
And
you.
I have a nice letter. You're gonna- Picture time, right, so?
Yes, the whole family. Thank you.
Great.
Yeah, thank you.
Eli's been.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
All right. Oh, yeah.
Actually, you all did very well on your own. That was great.
Thanks.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Aiden, you ready? Yes. It's my pleasure to invite Aiden Brennan to the front of the room. Yeah. To the phone. You want to share where you were, while you were a couple of minutes late? It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm on the football team and we won the state championship this year, so I was just at the lacrosse game collecting my ring at the ring ceremony.
Just a reminder, the same criteria we used when we selected Grace, we used to select Aiden. Aiden Brennan is a scholar athlete who embodies the multifaceted leadership required for the CABE Award. With a weighted GPA over 5.0 and a resume spanning high-level STEM research and the performing arts, Aiden demonstrates a rare willingness to tackle challenges that cross traditional disciplinary boundaries. His academic journey at Daniel Hand High School is marked by a rigorous pursuit of AP and honors coursework, which earned him national merit recognition and the seal of biliteracy in Spanish, achievements that underscore his ability to understand complex issues clearly. Beyond the classroom, Aiden's leadership is defined by deep concern for others and a natural ability to collaborate. He has twice received the Daniel Hand High School Helping Hands Award for kindness, a testament to his character as a peer who actively supports those around him. This spirit of service extends to the broader community, where he has dedicated 3 summers as a camp counselor for youth sports and volunteered with church food and clothing drives. His faculty selection to represent Daniel Hand High School at Boise State highlights his diplomacy and aptitude for high-level civic engagement. Aiden's commitment to projects and his ability to honor that commitment are most evident in his 4-year tenure on both the varsity football and baseball teams, maintaining elite performance in sports, including winning SCC weightlifting titles, while balancing a demanding academic load and new ventures such as the Vibe Show Choir, requires difficult decisions about time management and personal priorities. Whether researching the link between tuberculosis and depression at Yale, or mentoring youth athletes, Aiden approaches every endeavor with a can-do attitude and a sense of responsibility. Aiden Brennan is not just a participant in his school community, he is a foundational member. His blend of intellectual curiosity, athletic discipline, and genuine compassion exemplifies the leadership values championed by the CABE Award. Undoubtedly, he will continue on a path of success as a truly special young man who is very well deserving of this recognition. You bet. Very well. So here is federal support and a certificate. I want your family to come up and take a picture.
One, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, our last recognition of the night, but not least certainly is for the 2026 Bass High School Principal of the Year. We had to delay this recognition because we needed to wait for the legislature to be finished with their work. So they finished up May 6th, and I think they caught up on some sleep. So they were able to join us tonight. We have with us State Senator Christine Cohen, State Representative John Michael Parker. Our first select woman, Peggy Lyons, is with us tonight. I know Scott Murphy is here as well, and John Mueller was able to join us from the Board of Finance. So it's great to have such community support with us. Did I miss anybody that might have snuck in the back? No, that was good. And so, so I think what people might not see, and sometimes these recognitions, that they are for the principal, and TJ has talked from the beginning that this is a school and a community recognition. It's so great to see so many of our administrators here throughout. This is really about the whole school district. The high school is obviously the last school that our students attend, but without the work prior to this, this is not possible. But there's also a lot of work that TJ had to put into this before be able to, go on to this award. He received an application through email. It was pages and pages and pages of work that, he had to do. And so I appreciate that he went through that process and was willing to put himself out there and go through a very rigorous process that included interviews with parents from our community, from students from our community. So there's a lot that goes into this, and CAS, does a lot of rigorous work to ensure they're selecting a high quality high school principal of the year, and they got it right this year. They really did. So I will speak at the end maybe a little bit if there's anything that maybe was left out, but I know we have a lot of people really anxious to share some great words about our principal of the year. So I will start with members of the Board of Education. I would like to share a few words.
Yes. I'll sing. Good evening, everyone. It's truly a pleasure to be here tonight to celebrate TJ Salutary being named Connecticut High School Principal of the Year by the Connecticut Association of Schools. And honestly, are any of us surprised about that? Because if you know TJ, this recognition makes perfect sense. There are a lot of things that make a great principal: intelligence, organization, leadership, vision, patience, a good measure of perspective and humor, the ability to survive approximately 11,000 emails a day. And somehow TJ manages all of it while remaining calm, approachable, and perhaps most impressively in a high school setting, genuinely liked by students. That last part is harder than it sounds. TJ has mastered the rare art of setting very high expectations while still allowing students to actually enjoy being teenagers. Daniel Hand students know that they're expected to work hard, achieve, contribute, and represent their school well. But they also know their principal sees them as people, not just as GPA calculations in backpacks. And students respond to that. TJ's built a culture where students feel challenged, supported, and known. That doesn't happen accidentally. It takes consistency, trust, visibility, and a leader who is deeply invested in school life every single day. TJ has guided Daniel Hand through some very challenging times, including the post-Sandy Hook era, COVID, the omnipresence and distraction of social media, an epidemic of student depression and anxiety around the country, vapes, pens, and legalization, oh my, and above all, the great air dryers versus paper towels debate. Through it all, TJ has led this amazing institution by the guiding principle found in our organization's mission, that education should be a joyful endeavor. Of course, there are also those legendary graduation speeches. Every June, TJ delivers a commencement address so thoughtful, polished, and filled with literary references that leaves many of us asking ourselves the same question. Wait, did he actually read all those books? Somehow, against all the odds, I think the answer might actually be yes. But what I appreciate most about TJ is that despite all the accolades, including leading Daniel Hand to national recognition and now being honored statewide, he remains humble, collaborative, and focused on others. He gives credit to staff. He supports students. He places problems in their properly sized boxes and keeps focus on what matters. This award recognizes excellence in school leadership across the state of Connecticut. But for those of us here this evening, it recognizes something even more important: the impact one good human being can have on an entire school community. I'm proud to have been here when TJ was brought in 2013. TJ, congratulations. This honor is incredibly well deserved, and we are all so proud to celebrate you this evening.
Like, do you want to go first? I just wanted to add a few words, TJ. We're all so glad, hearing your speeches and hearing about the students. I think we all see why, one of the many reasons why you deserve this recognition. And there's so much to admire about your work, but I wanted to highlight your commitment to putting students first. It is clear that you make an effort, as we know, to know every student personally. You show up at events seemingly everywhere all the time. I'm not certain how you get everywhere. I was particularly moved to hear during the Principal of the Year selection process about how students spoke so highly about the respect you show them, like Grace said, the seat you give them at the table to hear their voices. That came across loud and clear. And I was especially inspired by your focus on student belonging and connection. As a social worker, that really resonates with me, in particular, your initiative to ensure that every student in the building has a trusted adult in their lives. These sustained, meaningful connections we know are incredibly powerful and serve as a vital protective factor for young people. So I really appreciate that as a parent also. And also your dedication has clearly fostered a positive climate at hand. We've seen more and more students every year describing the school as a caring environment where they feel safe. And it's evident that you've been at the forefront of that process. So we are just so fortunate to have you leading our school. And I am so grateful as a parent, as a community member, and as a member of the Board of Education for everything you do for our students and the community. So thank you.
Well, I'm sitting here in the amen corner. I'm gonna echo everything that's just said. And as Craig said, I'm sure that TJ would be the first to say that achieving this kind of excellence is a total team effort. And it's true, we really are blessed with outstanding staff, principals, and teachers. But I think what sets TJ apart, as first among equals, is his leadership and the ability to make everybody around him better. I think if you were to sit in the dugout of the Mets, you know, you'd be worth 5 wins at least. And as Emily mentioned, you know, if you don't have a 9-to-5 job, you work from 5 to 9 because you care for the students and you're there when they need you. And we celebrate their triumphs, and that's just really heartwarming to know that you've made such a difference. I admire you because you're a man of integrity. And you model every day, you model ideal behavior for those students. And that's something they absorb, and you've been nothing but a positive multiplier because those lessons are going to live with them the rest of their lives. So, yeah, well deserved. Thank you.
I'd like to say something. Okay. I'd like to say a personal thank you to you, TJ, for understanding the importance of drug education and awareness. Principal Salutary let Demand Zero into the school and was a huge part of our success with the program that we did. And the kids, you can tell the kids absolutely love you. And for you to have such kids as our Gracie, and Aiden, the job you're doing is wonderful. And I'm so blessed to be part of the Board of Ed and to be working with you. And I look forward to working with you again. Thank you.
You can stand it, TJ. Also,
I'm thinking lower it is.
of course.
All right, so for a special recognition, I'd like to call up Christine Cohen, State Senator, and John Michael Parker, our State Representative.
Everybody. Well, congratulations. I don't have anything formal to say, but I do want to just say a few words. And by all accounts tonight, congrats to the students. You have an easy job. But we know that's not true, despite having a fantastic staff of teachers who, again, are so valued and appreciated by you and so many others in the community. But I also know so many folks in the community. I have young people at home myself, and they know a lot of hand students, and I hear all great things about you. And that's a really hard balance to hear from students as like the cool principal, and yet you still hold the line as the disciplinarian, managing all of the demands of the job, making sure that your staff feel really great about being where they are, doing what they're doing, and that's clear. And anything that we're at with you, it really is clear to everybody around you how much love and dedication you have for the job that you're doing and for the students that are under your roof. So thank you for all you do. So grateful to you. It wasn't that long ago that we were celebrating the Blue Ribbon School, and that's under your home, and it's just fantastic work. So we're really pleased to be here tonight to give you this proclamation, but I'll let John Michael say a few words. Graduate if he wants.
As a graduate and approaching my 20-year reunion this November. God, Murphy, that was loud. Ooh. 50th was your. But to that point, it's so good to be here tonight. Congratulations to the young people that were recognized. Whispered over to Peggy, holy cow, the students these days, I would not have held a candle for these young folks when I was back in. And also as the father now of a 7-month-old and a 3-year-old, feel so proud grateful to be raising them in this community. Hopefully they'll be here in 15 more years in that job, we'll see. And as I know, and as you said, TJ, in your recognition, the team that you have behind you with board, Dr. Cook, certainly with folks in town as well, come together as a team to make your work possible. We just couldn't be prouder. I would also just mention, in addition to all the accolades and hats that were described of you, also advocate is one that I'm proud to know. TJ stuck around and testified in front of the education committee at God knows what hour, and followed up with me a few times about a piece of policy that he was working on, supporting mentorship for emerging administrators. So your work to pass along what that you've learned to other folks that, of course, are in our district and otherwise, is really appreciated. Proud that the bill passed, and hope that we get to keep working with you up there. Just don't turn into Seth and start texting us, in the middle of the night. But Christine and I are grateful that we get to share a citation on behalf of the General Assembly in recognition of this award. Go ahead.
I'll try. I don't have my glasses on.
Okay, you too.
I think I can do it, as long as I hold it at. Be it hereby known to all that the Connecticut General Assembly hereby offers its sincerest congratulations to Anthony R. Salutary Jr. in recognition of being named the 2026 Connecticut Association of Schools High School Principal of the Year for your distinguished leadership and dedication to your students, faculty, and community. During your tenure of over a decade, you undertook initiatives to support achievement, mentorship, and wellness at Daniel Hand High School. Under your leadership, your school has received state and national recognition as a state school of distinction. A NIASC, I should know that as a former Board of Ed, NIASC accredited school, and a 2024 National Blue Ribbon School. In committing to tackling challenges and striving for improvement, you have fostered a more engaged, collaborative, and caring school environment. You are a true pillar of the Madison community. Congratulations.
First Selectwoman Peggy Lyons, will you please come forward?
Number 5.
Well, you're also the Board of Ed liaison. But first of all, I want to congratulate you. I know in my role, I don't often have a lot of direct interaction with the education side. It's kind of like church and state, like we're like separate entities. And yet I've worked very collaboratively, I think, with superintendent, a lot of leaders, and the Board of Ed chair. And also through those interactions, learn a lot about what amazing things in the advocacy that you do for Daniel Hand. I mean, everything that's been achieved today by the school is because you pushed through programs with your staff. You supported your students. You've asked for investments to be made in the schools and been a strong advocate. And I think it's really important to have that kind of leadership. On a personal note, you started including, I attend a leadership council on a quarterly basis that TJ has organized, and it's an opportunity to interact with students, talk about things that are going on in town, and learn about things that maybe we as a town could do better. Because the students in this town, they go to the surf club, they go to the library, they use all the resources that we have, and yet we don't have a way to get that feedback a lot. So I thought that was been really helpful for me, and I appreciate all the support. And we've talked about leadership and how important it is to set that example about collaborating with others and trying to find solution for problems, right? Identifying an issue and then maybe trying to transition that into something that we can deliver to the kids or to the residents. So I appreciate the cooperation, and I think it's just a continued example of how well you do your job and how well you are a leader to our community. So our board did do a proclamation. I don't know, do we want to read it? It's kind of, it's a lot. But anyways, we did, the Board of Selectmen did want to issue a proclamation just highlighting, all that you've done for our community and all the hard work that you've done. And we're just grateful for that. And I think this award is just a symbol of how fantastic you've been, the Board of Ed behind you, and all the administrators and staff that make Daniel Hand such a great place. By the way, I'm a parent also of a rising freshman and a rising senior. And I know that they're in a safe pair of hands. And that's what I always feel like when they go off to school every day. They're cared for in this community. So thank you for that.
You threw me up here. So I am the benefactor of, I have 3 kids now officially off the payroll, thanks to TJ. So I have to say all 3 Murphy kids are in successful careers now. And I really do believe it was because of TJ's leadership. TJ was always willing to come to baseball games with my son. He was at softball games with my daughters, called colleges on behalf of our children. He's just willing to go above and beyond on behalf of the students, and we couldn't thank you more. And especially, the proclamation. I know you'll read it. Probably it'll be your bedside reading tonight. It's a lot, by the way. If you look at it, there's a lot of words and a lot of whereases. But we certainly mean every word and are so appreciative, personally, professionally, and as the Board of Selectmen. So thank you very, very much. Thank you.
All right, well, you guys nailed it. I really had some things in mind to say, and I think they've all been covered. I am going to repeat a couple things, and maybe one new thing. I will say one of the true tributes that somebody can do is move to the town they work in, and then send their kids to that school. And so your family's with you tonight. I know how important they are to you. Jake and Brooke, I'm sure there were days you went home and didn't think he was principal of the year. We'll talk about it some other time. Carrie, the sacrifices you make being the wife of a principal, in town. And I know, like people said, he's at everything. And so he never complains about that. There's times where he's, at events, I'm sure there's, he maybe rather be somewhere else. You never know that. You never guess that. And so such a credit to TJ, the tireless work. He's up at 4:30 in the morning. I've called him at 4:30 in the morning before, and he picks up the phone and he's already started his day. It's just amazing, when it all comes together like that, and he treats the students in the school like his family, like his own kids. The students that need him the most get the most from TJ, and so I think that's just amazing to see, throughout that time. So thank you for being here tonight. Thank you to your family for the sacrifices you've all made. And I know there's benefits, but I know there's been some sacrifices too. And I will ask TJ if you'd like to share a few words.
Sure. That'd be awesome. So
This is
great. Yeah. So I didn't prepare any words because that's just not my style. Craig asked me a couple of months ago, would you be willing to come to a board meeting to be recognized? I'm like, really? But I really appreciate it. Like, an absolutely incredible, humbling honor. And really, it hasn't even sunk in yet. And, in 2013, around this time, I was here, getting, the final phases done for
the hiring process. And Seth, you were here, which was really cool. We had pepperoni and cheese in room B, which was a little strange, but that was actually kind of cool. And, it's been a magical 13 years, and I'll start with my family. Being a high school principal is not easy. Some of my most memorable personal moments when Jake and Brooke crossed the stage at graduation, big hugs and really powerful in 2019 and 2022. Seems like yesterday. I have pictures all over my office with that, and just really meaningful, really powerful. Carrie, I think it's hard to be married to me in general, and married to a high school principal. I'm not present and often, and even sometimes when I'm present, I'm not present. The job's just that big. I was getting interviewed for something related to this, and I said, "Tell us about your job description." I'm like, "Yes, it's just all of the above." At the school level, I have a dynamic administrative team that really is supportive. Most are here tonight. Our district admin team's a powerhouse team. I was at a national conference for the recognition in DC over spring break, which was pretty powerful, to be with 49 other high school principals of the year. A lot of collaborative time, and we walked around like, "What's your superpower?" was one of the conference focuses, and what allows you to be successful. And I talked about the Board of Ed, I talked about central office and the amount of support you give us as administrators, and you trust us to do great work. And a lot of the principals from all over the country talked about a level of micromanagement that really makes them move around. One principal of the year had a new job for the next year already because of that level of micromanagement. So I couldn't thank you enough. You've been so supportive. Gail, Craig, Liz, absolutely outstanding. And, the focus of my work is the students. I really make decisions that are in the best interest of students, not always the most popular decision in some cases. But the other focal point is really trying to make sure teachers and staff feel supported and trusted, which we have at any given time about 1,000 people in the building. That's a big number. And the theme of most is they do feel supported, they feel trusted, and we've done some incredible work. I appreciate the level of support that this town gives our school. I think we've earned a lot of that and really are doing some excellent work. When I got hired in 2013, and my goal number one was not to screw up Daniel Hand High School. That's really a great school. And with an incredible faculty and staff, we've moved the needle consistently without ever making anyone feel like we're not doing a great job. And that's really a credit to our faculty and staff. They do incredible work. They're always focused on our kids. And I think our students enjoy the experience. Most are sad when they cross that stage on the last day of graduation, and hearing students when I see them, because I live in town now and I see a lot of graduates saying, "I was so prepared, I missed Daniel Hand High School." That's like the ultimate compliment. So this has been as humbling as I could ever imagine. When Craig nominated me and I got the application, which was kind of daunting, I wasn't sure I was going to do it, and then when I got to the point of being one of 2 finalists and a site visit was planned, I'm like, what if I win? Or what if I don't win? Either way, it's probably a very difficult piece. But I was excited when I won, because I get to brag about all the great things that happen at Daniel Hand High School, especially the work of our students and the work of our staff. So this is a personal honor for me, but it truly is, I would say, a town recognition, and especially focused on all the work of our schools. So I want to say just thank you to everyone. Really appreciate it. And for everyone who's able to be here tonight, I really appreciate you being here. It means a lot. Thank you very much. Pictures? There you go.
Oh, yeah. You think that I'm like, I know. You Well, thanks for that one. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Yeah. It's very, thank you, appreciate it. All right, Gail's gonna cut the cake.
Hang on, just before they get, they have to adjourn the meeting.
Yes, they do. All right, it's our last order of business. I need a motion to adjourn. Can I get a second? Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries